Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Elevating Us podcast, where we discuss how to enhance and excel your personal journey. Now, this week, and as well as in the week of November, we're going to be talking about burnout. What burnout is, and how to catch the symptoms of burnout before we actually get to the point of burnout. Now, this is king when it comes to having a good balance of productivity versus rest time, okay? We have to recognize the symptoms as well as having a good balance between being productive and knowing when it's time to sit down and when it's time to rest. Now, when it comes to burnout, y'all, burnout can literally sneak up on you. It's one of those things that can happen gradually, and it can be disguised as you just telling yourself, like, oh, I'm just tired, or I'm just having an off week, or it's just been an off couple of weeks. Different things like that. Those are signs that you are getting burnt out, okay? So we want to talk about what the symptoms are to burnout and how we can catch them before we actually get to that point. I'm going to tell y'all from my personal experience, honey, burnout is literally a stage in life where you just feel like that you are in this constant loophole of you're trying but can't get it together. And so with my personal experience, I realized that, hey, I'm doing the things, but I'm not finding the fulfillment in those things. I'm not finding that assurance or that fulfillment that, hey, I have accomplished this task and I feel great about it, or that I have had a truly productive, successful day, or different things like that. And then at the end of the day, I feel like that I have just wasted so much time and that I literally have not gotten anything completed. Now, let's talk about the first step of burnout. When it comes to burnout, I had to take time to realize that my just being tired versus that lingering tiredness, where it's like no matter how many little naps I take or I feel like I'm getting adequate sleep, I still am not waking up feeling rested, feeling energetic. I'm just there and it's just like blah, like, okay, now it's time to get up for work, or now it's time to get my day started and do all the things, but I don't have the energy to do it. With that, that's called constant exhaustion. Constant exhaustion can be draining physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's literally like you are exhausted in all aspects, and it's a constant exhaustion. It's like no matter how much sleep you might get, you still feel exhausted. And that's because you are literally running yourself ragged and you're not getting restful sleep. Now, the second thing is being detached and having a loss of motivation from tasks that usually would feel fulfilling. So when we get to the stage of burnout, we can notice that things that we once found joy in, things that we once found relaxing and soothing to us, or like an uplifting task to us, now it feels pointless. Now it feels like another strenuous task. It's not enjoyable. It's not making you happy. And it's not making you feel that restful or that rejuvenated spirit that you once felt when you were doing that task. That's being detached and having loss of motivation. And then the next thing is having a decrease in productivity. Now, when we talk about this symptom of decreased productivity, that's literally like you cannot focus on just even doing the simplest task at hand. Like your brain is running 3,000 different directions in one, and you cannot focus on literally what is right in front of you or giving it the time, effort, and energy that it needs. Now, as we notice these three symptoms, we also want to notice the physical symptoms of burnout, because burnout is not just mentally, okay? When you get mentally exhausted, it plays into your physical symptoms, okay? When you're burnout, you might start noticing that you have more frequent headaches, you might have stomach issues, you might have back pains, different things like that. Those are indicators that your mental exhaustion is now playing into your physical exhaustion, okay? Me personally, I notice when I'm in that stage of burnout because my eyes start twitching. Y'all, I used to think that it's the weirdest thing, but that is the first sign that I'm about to start having tension headaches because I am burnt out. And I realized that I'm on that path of where my body is about to shut down because I have been running off fumes. Like I have no energy. I'm exhausted to the fullest extent. And this is my sign of where I've noticed that the tension headaches come. Like, I tend to get a little bit more irritable. I don't have the energy to do anything, and I just want to be left alone. Those are my signs of where, Caitlin, you're exhausted and it's time to reel it back in before your body shuts down and you get sick and then you cannot do anything. Now, as I talked about me wanting to be by myself and sometimes being irritable, that's when those negative thoughts and that withdrawal can come about, okay? With negative thinking, we can start thinking like, no matter what I do, I always end up in the same spot, or no matter how hard I try, it just seems like it isn't good enough. It's not sufficient enough to get me to the next level. And then with withdrawal, our social interactions, okay? We no longer want to be around our family, friends, or our coworkers and associates. We no longer want to go to social events or just do sociable things that we once found joy in. Now we're starting to withdraw and we want to be isolated and we just want to be alone. Those are symptoms of burnout. By being around your loving, trusted circle, they can help you with, hey, I'm noticing that you're overexerting yourself. They might be able to highlight the symptoms before you can even notice that you are on that path of burnout because you've been overexerting yourself. Your loved ones can tell you like, hey, maybe it's time for you to slow down a little bit. Maybe it's time for you to reel it back in. Let's have a girls' night. Let's have a family night, or let's just go out and do something that will take your mind off of all the responsibilities and tasks that you have going on to help rejuvenate you, okay? And with that, the last symptom that we're talking about is self-neglect, okay? Where you once prioritized doing your self-care and making sure that you had adequate sleep and a well-balanced meal, and making sure that you're taking time just for yourself and to pour into yourself, you start neglecting those things, okay? Because you feel like that there's not enough time in a day and that you've given your effort and energy to all these many different things that now you don't have time and energies to give to yourself. These are all signs of burnout, whether it be the constant exhaustion, being detached and having loss of motivation, the decrease in productivity, and then the physical symptoms, as well as the negative thinking, and then the withdrawal from social interactions. And then the last thing would be the self-neglect. If you notice that you are falling into one of these symptoms, then those are indicators that you are on that path to burnout, or you are actively engaged in that burnout stage. And it's time to take some time for yourself so that you can get out of this burnout stage. Now, it is easier said than done because we all know that life is all about the hustle and bustle, and we have so many different tasks and responsibilities that we have to get done. But literally, if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't dedicate time to rest and rejuvenate, your body is going to make you. And then that's going to be a whole nother situation in itself. Okay, so we don't want to get to that level of burnout because trust me, it's not okay. Now, different ways to turn around the burnout stage. How to get out of that burnout stage is literally, like I said, it is easier said than done, but we want to take baby steps to dedicate time to ourselves, okay? We want to start by small shifts in our daily habits. So literally just taking that habit and changing it in the slightest bit. That can go a long way, but we also want to make sure that we're taking regular breaks, whether that be throughout each day, throughout each week, and especially throughout each month, okay? You have to make sure that routinely, just like the way that you have to go to work every day, or the way that you have to wake up and get your responsibilities done every day, you have to take regular breaks. And then we want to make sure that we are prioritizing our self-care. If you don't know by now, then let me tell you, self-care is the best care. I always say that you cannot take care of your family, you cannot take care of your friends, you cannot take care of anybody else if you're not taking care of yourself first, okay? You have to make sure that you are taking care of yourself and implementing your daily and weekly self-care routines so that you can be able to show up in your best abilities for yourself and for the individuals that rely on you, okay? But in addition to that, we want to make sure that we are adjusting our goals as needed so that we can get out of the burnout stage. Okay, it's okay to adjust your goal to fit where you are in life right now. Okay, understand that yes, we all have goals, we all have dreams and aspirations, but if the steps that it takes to get to that ultimate goal are not feasible in your season right now, then it's time to adjust those small goals so that we can get to the big goal, and understanding that it is okay to adjust your goal where needed. It's okay to adjust your routine where needed so that you can show up in your best ability right now and still work on your ultimate goal. Okay, now as we're recognizing these signs of burnout, this helps us prevent from actually getting into the burnout stage and from burnout actually taking root in our lives. Okay, so we want to make sure that we are keen to the symptoms. We want to make sure that we are in tune with our body, like literally listening to your body. What is your body telling you? Is it telling you that you're tired for days at a time? Are you noticing that you're getting more agitated to the smallest things? Listen to your body, because your body is the first indicator that is going to let you know when you are getting on that path to being burnt out. Okay, and we just want to make sure that as we are obtaining our ultimate goals in life, as we are truly walking in and thriving in our purpose in life and in our assignments of the season, that we don't overexert ourselves and get in the stage of burnout. Now, we'll continue to talk about burnout, resting, rejuvenating, but also being productive and doing all the things of how we can show up in our best selves and continue to elevate and evolve into the person that we're called to be. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all have a great day.